She said I wasn't good enough for her, so I made sure life proved her wrong in front of everyone she tried to impress. That was the last sentence I said to Naomi before walking away, watching her face drop in disbelief. She thought I was beneath her, a stepping stone until something better came along, but she had no idea that the same man she mocked was the one holding the key to her greatest humiliation. When Naomi and I met, it felt like something out of a dream. We clicked instantly. She was vibrant, confident, and sharp-tongued in a way that drew me in. She used to call me her safe place, saying I was calm and grounded. We'd been together for a year, living simply but happily. We had this ritual. Every Friday night, she'd cook dinner while I played her favorite old songs on the speaker. She'd dance barefoot in the kitchen, laughing as if nothing in the world could touch us, or so I thought. Looking back, I can see the cracks, the subtle eye rolls when I talked about my plans, the way she'd go silent when someone drove by in a nicer car, the little jabs. You're so sweet, Evan, but don't you ever want more? At the time, I thought she meant ambition. What she really meant was status. It started small, a change in her phone habits. She used to leave it on the couch, unlocked. Now, it was glued to her hand. She started dressing differently, talking about networking events and new opportunities. When I asked if I could come with her, she smiled faintly and said, "Evan, not everything's your scene." That stung, but I stayed quiet. Then came the nights she didn't come home. Excuses piled up. Car trouble, a late dinner, crashing at a friend's place. But the biggest red flag, one night I overheard her on the phone saying, "He's sweet, but he's not going anywhere." I didn't confront her. Not yet. Because I've learned the best revenge is never impulsive. It's patient. One weekend, she told me she was going to a branding conference. But when I arrived, there was no conference, just a private brunch at a fancy restaurant. Naomi, sitting across from a man I'd never seen before, laughing, holding his hand across the table. She looked radiant, polished, poised, fake. I stood there, hidden behind the partition, watching as she whispered something to him. He laughed, and she touched his cheek like she used to touch mine. I recorded the whole thing, not to expose her publicly yet, but because I needed to feel the betrayal before I let it go. That night, she came home and kissed me on the cheek, pretending nothing happened. That's when I realized she wasn't just cheating on me, she was rehearsing for her next act. A month later, Naomi got invited to a big social event, the kind she used to dream about. The man she was seeing, he was hosting it. She bragged about it for days, talking about finally being seen by the right people. She didn't know that the event was sponsored by a company I recently started consulting for. The organizers trusted me completely, so I made a quiet adjustment to the guest media presentation, the highlight reel that played on the big screen. Midway through the evening, as Naomi stood center stage beside her new boyfriend, the slideshow shifted. Pictures of her and me appeared, holding hands, kissing, dancing. Then came the time-stamped footage of her at that same restaurant with him. Her face went pale as the crowd gasped. He turned to her, confused, furious. "Who's that?" he demanded. She stammered, eyes darting around, realizing everyone was watching. I didn't say a word. I just stood at the back of the room, arms crossed, watching her world crumble. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about justice. Naomi tried to call me later that night. I didn't answer. A week later, I heard she'd been dropped by everyone she'd been trying to impress. The guy left her, her new friends ghosted her, and the same crowd that once admired her now whispered behind her back. Me? I moved on quietly. I learned that sometimes being not good enough is exactly what saves you, because people like Naomi always end up proving your worth for you. Arrogance blinds you, but humility reveals who's truly strong. She said I wasn't good enough, but life humbled her in front of everyone. Like, share, and subscribe to SilkMirror for more real-life stories of heartbreak, revenge, and transformation